Now I have the pleasure to ask Maria João Rodrigues, who chaired the advisory committee, who sort of worked on our Declaration of Principles, to present the Declaration of Principles and the amendments. Thank you.
Dear friends, we are in harsh times in Europe, a unique financial crisis, going back to recession, a crisis of democracy, and ultimately a crisis of European integration. But this is one further reason for us to assert our values, our vision, and to renew our ambition. This is the main purpose of this Declaration of Principles. We are proud of our achievements, but we can also make a critical self-assessment of our mistakes. We know that we can make the critical difference in European politics, but we also know that we need to renew our goals. In this declaration, our starting point is a new concept of human happiness. We really think that human happiness depends on real conditions for emancipation for all and for a fair society. This is our main purpose in political life. But we also know that we are in a new world, and if you want to regain control of our lives, we need to build a democratic chain starting from the local, national, but also European and international level. So this is our new historical task. And that's why we need a party of European socialists. This Declaration of Principles was just the first stone of an ambition renewal process, and the next stage will be for us to prepare a PES fundamental program. Let me tell you, this fundamental program should be driven by our strong commitment to European integration. Europe used to be an appealing project, is no longer an appealing project. So we need to make it again an appealing project, and we can make it. Let me tell you that this Declaration of Principles was based in a very large process of consultation, of discussion, without taboos, and also of exploring new ideas, new goals, and I think we make it. But let me tell you that if it was possible, it was because we could involve a very large range of actors, starting with the PES bodies, starting with our leaders, involving all our national parties, the PES activists, our comrades in Committee of Regions, ECOSI, PES Women, but also a large range of think tanks, intellectuals wanting to join. I'd like to underline particularly the role played by FEPS with its research program Next Left. And last but not least, a very skillful work undertaken by the PES team. I would like to underline particularly the name of Cleo Davis. She's there on the table, close to Philippe. I don't know, Cleo, how many versions you have been able to go through. And last but not least, Philippe Cordery, and a very, very special mark by Poul Nyrup Rasmussen. Poul, this is one of your many, many legacies in building the PES. And let me tell you that it was really a great pleasure and a great honor to work with you. Thank you very much.
Merci, Maria.
Thank you very much indeed. I now would like to give the floor to Catherine Trotman, representing the French Socialist Party.
Chers camarades, vous le savez parfois.
Dear friends, you know that sometimes the French are not on time. And first, I would like to give you some apologies because we have sent our amendments a little bit too late. Sorry for that, Poul, but you know it, you all know it. We have a major task ahead, and it's taking all of our time as we are preparing and organizing the campaign of our candidate, François Hollande. And I would like to say that this declaration of a principle is a real political tool, thanks to which we will be able to include in this message the campaign of a presidential candidate, of someone who would like to commit himself on behalf of the entire socialist family. And he understands the responsibility of having to provide a turning point to this Europe in order to promote growth, employment, solidarity, social justice, and the possibility for each EU citizen to really know what the social democrat family in Europe can bring in the future, but also today and in our daily lives. A value, an action, some efficacy, these are the terms that we can use to describe this declaration of principles. It will be inspirational, and it will be the same for the resolution. And this is the reason why we wanted actually to bring 4 short amendments that go really in the direction that I have just highlighted. First of all, an amendment at the end of line 50. In the English version. I can read it in English.
Plays an essential role in this new economy. Nous avons choisi.
We have chosen a term, the public sector, that can be understood in all our countries because we do not define it in the same way in France, in the UK, in Italy, in Hungary, but we know that it is key for the public sector to play its depreciation role in the crisis, as well as its distributor role.
Le deuxième amendement, à la ligne.
The second amendment, line 61 at the end of Principle 8, and I read it in English.
Of society are entitled to protection from social risks in life. Nous avons considéré qu'il est.
We thought it would be important to highlight this conviction according to which each individual should have the same social protection right wherever the person is and whatever his employment condition is, or whatever is or her age or condition. So this is an amendment whose aim is to really strengthen this solidarity spirit in the declaration. Then the third one, 66, and I read in English.
Religion is separated from the state. Ce n'est pas.
Well, this is not really the formula that we are using in French, but it's used more and more. Once again here, the situation is not the same in all countries, but we believe that we need to say it regarding the respect of beliefs and the expression of the neutral state, what a neutral state should guarantee, the equality of citizens when faced with their religious conviction. So it is an amendment that is actually completing what is being said here on the respect of religions and beliefs. I think that this amendment strengthens actually what is stated here in this line 66. Then the last amendment, the last one, comes at the last but one paragraph, line 91, and I read in English.
Is to work towards a progressive harmonization within a political union, making it a tool for justice and emancipation. Cet amendement se justifie.
This amendment can be justified because we would like to strengthen what is really our vision of the social democrat political method. We do not want to impose decisions upon anyone. We simply want to find agreement and to progress together on the basis of a common work. We have to understand our processes in a democratic process. So I think that this is how we can really give some meaning to our socialist approach.
A special thank for Paul, who wanted to organize this convention on a political basis from the beginning, the principles, to the concrete tasks. For us, French, it's a real tool in this campaign. Thank you very much, Paul, because you came in our party, you know that we were divided, and you made the unanimity on the proposition of strategy of the PSA, and also on the answers, the economical answers to the crisis and the social perspective you wanted to propose in this convention. So thank you very much, Paul, because you made a tremendous job.
Merci, Catherine. So now I have
Thank you very much, Catherine.
two speakers want to speak generally on the Declaration of Principles, and then I have one speaker specifically for the amendment number 3. If anyone else would like to speak on any specific amendments, now is the time to indicate, but I'll first give the floor to the two speakers who want to speak generally, and the first one is Hannes Svoboda.
Dear comrades, Maria rightfully said at the beginning of the whole procedure and the whole document is written the word democracy. And isn't it strange that in Europe, after so many decades of constructing Europe, we still have to speak especially about democracy? And this is the point number 1. We had the situation in Italy with Berlusconi, who very often disregarded democracy and mingled economics and politics, personal economics and politics for his own interest. But now we have some further witnesses of how democracy is treated in some countries. Bulgaria, we had recently an election in Bulgaria, and the real winner was Ivor Calvin, who is also here. He was the real winner, but was taken away by him by undemocratic means and by cheating not only him, but the voters of Bulgaria. We have a situation in Romania where President Basescu is not respecting very often democracy. And by the way, we have a president there who is proud to cut the social expenditure for 25%, who is proud to stop the increase of the rents. And they are in a very difficult fight also against this kind of misuse of democracy and the misuse of budgetary policy. But on top of it, we have a situation in Hungary where our friends in Hungary have to fight for survival because Fidesz not only made a media law, which is also in principles against the values of democracy, but they want to get rid of the socialists because they say they were former communists, or the party is a follow-up of the Communist Party, and the Communist Party was it was a Socialist Workers' Party, was not democratic. So with one law, they want to destroy the friends of the social democracy in Hungary to be politically active. And I think we, Martin, and we discussed it today, our group will look for any kind of legal procedures to prevent Fidesz government to do these things. But I think also from this Congress we should send a clear signal of solidarity with our colleagues in some of the Eastern European countries because we fight for democracy in all our countries. We fight against these kind of conservative right-wing governments who are destroying democracy. And also this fight, dear Paul, is something which always has been dear to your heart. So give us a clear signal of solidarity with our comrades, give a clear signal of solidarity in the line of all the fight Paul Nierop had in the last years. Thank you very much.
Danke, Hannes. Our next speaker is Maria Lefebvre from PVDA, Netherlands.
Well, thank you very much. I would just like to make a general comment because we, as Dutch Labour Party, think this is a very important step for the Party of European Socialists to finally have the Declaration of Principles. And I would like to thank Maria for all the work she's been done for the last couple of months to make this work. In our party, we have had a debate recently on the question if our principles are still valid and up to date. And after having many consultations, we came to the conclusions that yes, although declarations of principles can be a little bit boring from time to time, they are very useful and still also very up to date. It's just a matter of translating our principles into modern policies. So I think this can really help the Party of European Socialists. It can really help to point out our positions and to make us much stronger. I would also like to mention that we have had a consultation on this particular document within our party because we have an elected delegation towards the Party of European Socialists. So we have people elected by our party Congress who represent the party towards past congresses and councils, and they took the initiative to have a members meeting, and I must say that everybody was really enthusiastic about the text, so I think that's also a big compliment to you and the work you've been doing. And I would like to thank Paul also, because I know that, he has been the motor behind creating this idea, and I said to him before today that he was really able to take the PES to the next level the last years. I've been involved in this Party of European Socialists since I was active in the youth, so since 1993. And if you look at the difference between 1993 and 2011, we have made a huge step forward. And I think like the biggest step towards maturity was taken by you because of all your energy and all your enthusiasm. And thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Maria. And our last speaker who will speak specifically on amendment number 3 will be Alex Baudry from LSAP Luxembourg. À toi, Alex.
Dear comrades, dear friends, in our general declaration we try to strengthen our political identity to make clear the differences which exist between our party's positions and positions of other political movements. We do it mainly in the economic and social field, our core business. But I think that there are other important questions, what the French call question de société, where the European socialists have to take position and to give strong and clear messages. And I think that our declaration of principles gives us the opportunity for such a clarification. And one of those questions is the question of the religious neutrality of the states, the defense in France of a certain idea of laïcité. it's clear, we as socialists, we respect the freedom of religions. We are committed, more than others, to tolerance. But what we don't accept is the intervention of religions, the intervention of often public-financed churches in public and political matters. The intrusion of religion in our everyday life, the intrusion of religion also in the life of our schools, I think they can no longer be accepted, and they are no longer accepted by a broad part of our populations. Our public school communities must stay united. They should not be divided in different fractions according to their religious convictions. I think we need less and not more segregation in our schools. That's also a question of social coherence. That's why we are in favor of a clear principle of a society where there is a separation between the religions and the states, and that's why we support the French Amendment. Thank you.
Okay, now the time has come to vote. Get your voting cards ready, and we'll vote first on the amendments and then on the general Declaration of Principles. First amendment from French Socialist Party would be to add after line 50, the public sector plays an essential role in this new economy. La place du secteur public est essentielle dans ce nouveau système économique. Can I see first if it's a clear vote or if we need to count? First, can you tell me who is against? Who abstains? So, who is in favor? So, unanimity for the First Amendment. Second Amendment, PS France again, line 61. All members of society are entitled to protection from social risks in life. Il faut protéger tous les membres de la société contre les risques sociaux de la vie. Who abstains? Who is against? One vote against. Who is in favor? So, unanimity in favor of the Second Amendment. No, sorry, one against. Third Amendment, line 66. In this society, religion is separated from the state. Cette société se fonde également sur la séparation des religions et de l'État. Could I see there if it's a clear vote also? Anyone against? So can we please count? Okay, can please voting cards down. Can we have abstentions, please? Can we please count there again? 4. And could we have votes in favor, please? I think it's an overwhelming majority. The last amendment is on line 91 from PS France also. Our historical task is to work towards a progressive harmonization within political union, making it a tool for justice and emancipation. There again, can I ask votes against this amendment? 1, 2, 3. Can one count? Can we count, please? 7. Can we have the cards down, and can I ask for abstentions, please? Can we count, please? Keep your cards up while we're counting. (16 abstentions. And could I have votes in favor, please? It's an overwhelming majority, and I thank you very much for this. And Martin Schulz is hungry. He wants us to go quicker in the voting. Last vote for the whole Declaration of Principles. Can I have a show of cards in favor, please? Thank you very much. Anyone against the Declaration of Principles? Any abstentions? Great. The PS now officially has a Declaration of Principles. Okay, dear friends, now we come to the last part of our council, point 7 on the agenda, which is about the resignation of our president and the presidency decision on the transitional leadership. I would like to inform you on behalf of the presidency about its decision concerning the transition. As you all know, by now, our president, Poul Nyrup Rasmussen, announced that he will be resigning at the end of the convention. In line with Articles 26.3 of our statutes, the presidency has decided to appoint Sergei Stanishev as interim president. The presidency has also decided to appoint Rory Quinn as chair of the presidency and of the 2012 Congress. The presidency has also decided to hold its next Congress from the 26th to the 28th of September in Bucharest, Romania. And the mandates of the interim president and chair of the presidency and the Congress will be until the Congress in Romania. I want to say now to Sergei that I'm extremely happy to be able to work with you in the future. Sergei has been one of our most active PES prime ministers when he was prime minister, and also before he was prime minister and after has always been a very, very active leader. And I know that you are really dedicated to the Party of European Socialists. I know that every milestone of your national policy is also guided by our European policy. And I'm really, really confident, Sergei, that we will have and establish a very, very close working relationship, and that with you, the party is in good hands for this period until the next Congress, and that you'll sort of guide us in this difficult times, because we're still in the middle of this important crisis, but I'm sure that you can guide us through it, and I want to wish you good luck for this. And I will tell Rory tomorrow when he arrives that I'll be also delighted to continue an even stronger working relationship. Rory has been treasurer since, before 2004 even, and is a really dedicated sort of person in the PS presidency. Now, let me turn to Paul. Paul, I really have been proud of being the General Secretary of the Party of European Socialists along with you as a president. You have paved the way for the PES to become a real political party. And what do I mean by political party? A political party first has a political line. And thanks to Paul, the PES has a political line. And it hasn't been easy. And you all know that. Because what Paul has achieved is not just a lower common denominator, but an ambitious political line, relevant both to the European and to the national level. A PS standing firm on its positions. A PS capable of developing a strong alternative to the Conservatives. From the Global Progressive Forum to the New Social Europe, from the manifesto to today's Declaration of Principles, this is Paul's legacy on the political line of the Party of European Socialists, and the line has been clear, and it is much easier to work when the line is clear. A political party is also connected to its members, and thanks to Paul, the PES today is connected to its members. We did not have enough space today in this room to invite all our activists present to come in, and there will be many, many more coming tomorrow. And this is Paul's idea in 2004 when he was elected President of the Party of European Socialists, to not only have a party for our leaders, for our people responsible for the international work, but also a party for the activists and involving the grassroots of our member parties. A political party also has a clear strategy to win elections. And I think thanks to the decisions that we've taken today, and thanks to Paul's inspiration for these, the PES now has a strategy. Paul is leaving the PES with a capacity to lead towards 2014 with a common candidate, a common program, and a common strategy. It is now our collective responsibility to find a good program, a good candidate, and very importantly, also a good strategy that involves all our leaders. And you know, Paul's job has not always been easy. Decisions have not always been very popular. He needed to be tough, and he was right to be tough. But because this is also a strong element of Paul's personality. He does not care about being popular. He cares about serving the cause and the collective good. And this is what makes him so popular today. When I see today our European leaders, Sarkozy, Merkel, Barroso, I keep thinking, this is not true leadership. To me, Paul, you are the embodiment of true leadership. You have a vision, have clear values, which make us identify where to go and how to pave our politics. Paul has political instinct. Who warned us first about this financial crisis and about the need for financial regulation at the very beginning of his mandate? And Paul has determination. That must be the Viking blood in you. As you say yourself, and as Martin Schulz so elegantly said in our meeting before, Paul is our best street fighter. And most importantly, also, Paul, you have a sense of collective interest that keeps everyone on board. And the combination of that is true leadership, and I really want to thank you for this leadership. I'm confident that the PES will continue in the same direction with Sergei, that you will also bring your style, your passion, your way, that our goal will remain the same. Our goal is to have a strong left in Europe. And I want to conclude by saying to Paul, thank you. On my behalf, on the behalf of all the staff, past, present, I know that all the people who've been working in the PES have appreciated your leadership and appreciated to work with you. I and we really enjoyed working with you. I and we really appreciated great, frank, open working relationship that we had. We developed really strong ties, and I can only be saddened by this sudden breakup after 7.5 years. Like old couples, we will have our moment of sadness, but we'll remember the strong moments that really led to the stronger PES today. So Paul, now it's time for you to be with your beloved ones, to enjoy your family and the well-deserved time that you need to spend in Denmark. I have learned a hell of a lot, Paul, on your side, and I'm sure that your future will continue strongly in Denmark. And once again, thank you very much. Paul Nero Rasmussen.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.